we gotta talk about Democrats, right? But I when I saw it, I couldn't just go. So let's see. Let's see if it's clickbait or no, because you never know, right?
Make tough decisions, so now we wait and see. It is reported that Iran sent a missile blowing up part of an Israeli hospital this morning. They went on to wound 200 people. The war, it rages on, and whether or not
It's ridiculous, man. Like, I don't want to be naive. I'm not a like completely peaceful guy or anything like this, but the freaking war needs to stop. Like, come on, people are dying, and for what? Really, for what?
we now get involved remains to be seen. But there is
Oh,
another
here we go.
conflict
Here
we're
we go.
involved with right now, and it's here at home. You can easily make the argument it's being led by Democrat politicians, and I don't say that lightly.
Of course it is. You saw the freaking what was it? Mayor of LA literally telling people not to let ICE to take the illegal immigrants, to take them away. Like, what the hell? How is that not a obstruction of justice? How is she still mayor and still has her own freedom, right? I feel like everyone who's obstructing justice, no matter if you're a politician or no, you should face consequences.
That's the attacks on all the ICE agents all across the country, and everybody, it's ramping up. They burn our flag in Iran and chant death to America, while the rioters that have been sent into our city.
Wait. So they burned American flag in Iran. Is this Iran or is this LA? Because, unfortunately, all over the US, they used to burn flags. Like, it's not that uncommon, right? So let's see, is this LA?
They are doing the same thing.
Because it looks like LA.
While they assault our law enforcement. And it didn't stop in Los Angeles. Last night, the Department of Homeland Security, they went ahead and put this video out.
Oh. What the? Yo, I live in Canada, and I really didn't think there can be something worse, but the come on here. Like, I always look at the Texas because I feel like that's best state in US. Sorry to say that, but yeah, sounds like the people use logic over there. But like, looking at LA and Seattle and all of these protests, it's like, okay, maybe Canada's not that bad, even though it's really bad over here right now, but at least we don't do this shit. What the hell?
A lot of different scenes there. The first one, in the woke utopia of Portland, Oregon, rioters targeted federal law enforcement. The DHS says 250 rioters launched fireworks, shined lasers in officers' eyes to temporarily blind them, and then they went on to storm an ICE field office. The DHS says 5 individuals were arrested on various charges, including
5?
Assault on federal law enforcement.
Okay, I don't know, shooting fireworks onto the law enforcement, well, even onto the normal citizen, where's, at least rubber projectiles, at least shoot them with rubber projectiles, or, I don't know, call the firefighters and spray them with the freaking huge hose. This is ridiculous, man. Like,
I think maybe they lost their way a little bit in Oregon, don't you think? And I told you about this last night. But since we're talking about that state again, I thought I'd bring it up. It's the same state where they're inviting drag queens into the State House to put on drag shows. That is official business now, I suppose, in the state of Oregon. You see what Democrats are prioritizing.
I wonder how much it got paid for this.
drag shows at the Capitol, and then, of course, going after our law enforcement. There's also this. A Texas man has been arrested after he had plans to kill law enforcement in Los Angeles during the recent riots.
Texas man is facing charges.
Wasn't I just talking about Texas? Come on, don't take Texas away from me.
After federal
It's
prosecutors
Austin,
say
right?
he wanted to use explosives purchased in New Mexico to kill police and government officials in California.
It's now been confirmed in Minnesota as well that an ICE agent was badly wounded while trying to arrest this guy. Real winner here, Roberto Carlos Munoz, an illegal alien child rapist from Guatemala, being harbored by Minnesota Governor Tim Walz thanks to the sanctuary laws that they have in his state. Here is the local CBS report on that.
What?
These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards.
Fuck.
That little clip there, that snippet you saw, he had 30-some stitches in his arm because of that. There's also been plenty of other crimes committed against ICE agents. In fact, the Department of Homeland Security, they just updated their stats.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm against violence, but this is... Like, really? If we talk about the protesters, that's not a protest anymore. It's not a peaceful protest. Like shooting fireworks, throwing bricks, all of it. It's endangering lives. And it's been going for so long. I think the law enforcement needs to use a little bit more force in this case. And yeah, I think President Trump was definitely right to send the National Guard to to LA. And I think he has a few more cities to send them to and tell them to use more force, because this is ridiculous. And I wish they said what happened to that illegal immigrant who was sex offender. Like, if he does this, I don't know, especially in Texas. You have guns, right?
Stats. It was originally over 400%. Well, the new data reveals that ICE law enforcement is now facing a 500% increase in assaults while carrying out enforcement operations. Make no mistake, sanctuary politicians are contributing to the surge in assaults of our ICE officers through their repeated vilification and demonization of ICE here. What I want to do is I want to highlight the bottom part of that X post again.
Yeah.
It's make no mistake, sanctuary politicians are contributing to the surge in assaults of our ICE officers through their repeated vilification and demonization of ICE. I mean, where do you think these people are getting their cues from?
Democrats, and that's the biggest issue, because they never use the correct wording, correct rhetoric. They call illegal immigrants. They put them literally into the same basket as a hard-working immigrants who did their paperwork, start a life in the US, but that's not who Donald Trump is after. He's after illegal immigrants. And so they call them immigrants, which obviously promotes the hate towards all of the immigrants as well. Let's not make a mistake about that, right? Using them to the same basket eventually promotes the hate towards the whole basket. So that's what Democrats are doing. So with their rhetorics trying to make it look like something better, they're actually promoting hate. Then other wording or other term they're using is undocumented immigrants. Again, same thing like illegal. But the reason why they can't use illegal immigrant is that word illegal. It literally tells you what they are. They are illegal. And I would go so far, from what I've heard from my US friends, the correct word or rhetorics would be illegal alien. And if you continue using it, which is what Republicans do, and President Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and pretty much everyone with logic, is that they call them illegal aliens. By that, you literally distinguish, you draw a huge, thick line between immigrant and illegal alien. So you're not going to promote any hate by using that rhetoric. But somehow Democrats, not only that they are making the situation worse, they are also telling other citizens to protect these illegal aliens, which is just ridiculous. And again, should be obstruction to justice at minimum. Can be even a treason. I wouldn't go far. I don't think it's too far from being a treason, right? Like, you're protecting someone who's from different country, someone who's in US illegally, and in case it's some sexual offender or something like that, that's pretty much treason, because you're protecting someone who's endangering your own citizens that you're supposed to protect.
Where are people learning to behave like this? It's Democrat
Exactly.
politicians.
Well, that's what I
That is
said.
where they are learning this from. You know, we've been keeping track of the number of Democrats who've been arrested or detained or put into cuffs recently over immigration. Right now, I can bring you up 4 quick examples.
Oh, yeah.
The
Let's
latest,
go.
of course, is New York City Controller Brad Lander at federal immigration court this week. We
Nice.
had U.S. Senator Alex Padilla at the Christie Nunn news
Oh,
conference.
yeah, I remember this
He
one.
had to be dragged out because he came in, barged in, he was acting insane. Also, there was the situation with Congresswoman LaMonica McIver and Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ross Baraka when they tried to storm an ICE facility there. Now, does anyone see a pattern here? Because I do.
They tried to storm ICE facility? Like, really? And you're still gonna consider yourself protester? Oh my God.
Like, maybe Democrats are doing this on purpose for the publicity.
Oh yeah,
You know,
for
if it
sure.
looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, probably a duck, right? There's another saying, I won't go there. Brad Lander's running for New York City mayor. He immediately goes on MSNBC after that happened. Alex Padilla, a grown man and sitting U.S. senator, he goes on to give a speech on the Senate floor, and then he starts crying about it.
What?
There was a ton of media coverage for Mayor Baraka and Congresswoman McIver. The issue with this is the precedent this is setting.
You know what? I wonder if, let's say, Alex Padilla, if he had to spend a week in the jail with some of these illegal aliens who are some sex offenders or something like that, I wonder if he would still behave this way. Maybe that's why he cried. But no, probably no. He was probably crying about police brutality and blaming President Trump or something like that. No one's going to talk about how he was, how is that word? Well, he was fighting against arrest, right? Resisting arrest. And literally trying to push to the, whoever was talking, whoever was having that press conference. I don't remember who that was right now, but yeah.
Like the DHS said in their post. And then useful idiots picking up on it. And then the result is, you know, something like this, everybody. Attacks on law enforcement like what we saw in Los Angeles. Democrats aren't getting their way with immigration, so now Democrat politicians are pulling publicity stunts to get put in cuffs, which sets the example. Then you wind up with real life or death situations like giant boulders being thrown at law enforcement, or men from Texas buying explosives with the intent to kill law enforcement. But there's more. Down in Nashville, the Democrat Mayor Freddie O'Connell, he's taken steps to put ICE agents in danger. Here,
I feel like all of these aggressive protesters should be grateful that law enforcement just doesn't shoot them. Because again, you're endangering someone's life. You're doing it on purpose. In some other country, you would be shot dead. But yeah, you're gonna complain about police brutality. Well, let's remember this one the next time we hear someone talking about police brutality, okay?
there was a recent headline, not sure if you're all aware about this. Nashville mayor faces scrutiny after releasing ICE information, federal agents' names. But the mayor doesn't think
What?
that has put them in any danger. Today, this is what he said the real issue is.
Is he in the prison?
They may have some concerns. I'm far more concerned about the overall dynamic we have about unmarked, unidentifiable, masked people whisking people into vehicles. I think that's a bigger concern.
We're talking about the mayor of a major city in America doxing federal agents.
Yeah.
These people have gone off the deep end. They're completely out of touch with what the American people want. And it basically boils down to this, everybody. That is American citizens first. America first. Guess what? 57% of Americans approve of President Trump deploying the National Guard in Los Angeles. Maybe this is why the DNC is running out of money. No one wants to contribute to lunacy. You know what else happened in Los Angeles today? Federal law enforcement, they were trying to use the parking lot at Dodger Stadium. DHS posted this. This had nothing to do with the Dodgers. CBP vehicles were in the stadium parking lot very briefly, unrelated to any operation or enforcement. Well, you know what happened? The Dodgers, they kicked them out. I'm sure that's going to help the situation out there. They kicked out our federal agents while they were trying to do their jobs. I think this is getting way out of hand.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like some Democrat politicians are, I don't know, almost trying to make something really bad happen to our law enforcement. But that's just my take.
How long is it going to take until you claim that the Democratic Party is extremist? Because it sure looks like it right now.